In the turbulent world of online poker, few stories are as notorious as that of Lock Poker. Behind the scenes of its flashy promotions and high-stakes contests, a darker truth began to emerge. Lock Poker was embroiled in scandal after scandal, culminating in accusations of fraud and cheating. Join us as we delve into the rise and fall of Lock Poker, a cautionary tale of deception and broken promises. Lock Poker first came into existence during mid-2008 and had a great marketing staff and business plan. It launched on the Cake Poker Network and in April of 2010 moved to the Merge Gaming Network. Unfortunately, it appeared that Lock Poker was never anything but a scam. In the spring of 2011, the online poker world buzzed with excitement when Lock Poker teamed up with Bluff magazine to launch a high-stakes contest. The premise was simple. Whichever player earned the most money on Lock's platform during the month of April would win a lavish prize package, including a coveted seat at the $10,000 WSOP main event. However, beneath all the excitement lay a glaring flaw in the contest's design. The sole criterion for winning was the total amount of money won during the month of April, which opened the door for potential manipulation. It was all too tempting for players to engage in chip dumping, where one player could intentionally lose chips to another and then share the prize. The winner was not just any participant, but a Lock Poker pro named Jose Macedo, whose victory was marred by blatant cheating. Instead of gradually accumulating winnings, Macedo waited until the last day of April to engage in a high-stakes PLO match against an unknown account, securing over $100,000 in a single night. His opponent, who lost a significant sum to him, was a newcomer to the high-limit games, raising questions about the legitimacy of the match. It seemed as though the money had magically appeared in the opponent's account, suggesting a setup. This last-minute win barely edged him past the legitimate second-place contender who had worked diligently throughout the month. Macedo later admitted to cheating in the contest, but at the time, he professed innocence. Despite the obvious signs of cheating, Lock Poker awarded Macedo the prize without question. This decision was seen as willful ignorance, as Lock Poker seemed more interested in the publicity of having one of their pros win the contest and getting featured on the cover of Bluff magazine. Lock Poker only disqualified him reluctantly after facing public outrage. Even then, they released a misleading statement suggesting he was disqualified for minor violations of the contest rules. Although Macedo won enough money from his own IP to have legitimately won the challenge, the unfortunate fact remains that breaking the rules is strictly disallowed. Jennifer Larson, Lock Poker CEO. Jennifer Larson twisted the narrative, portraying it as a legitimate win tarnished by a minor technicality, implying that Jose fairly won $100,000 but was disqualified for letting a friend use his account to win a small additional amount. This incident should have been a major warning sign about Lock Poker and its management. Trust in this site was severely undermined, and as the story unfolded, it became clear that this was just the beginning of their troubles. April 2011 was a tumultuous month for Lock Poker, marking by both the ill-fated Bluff magazine challenge and the seismic shift in the online poker landscape known as Black Friday. Major poker sites like Full Tilt, Ultimate Bet, and PokerStars were forced out of the US market, leaving a void that the Merge network, including Lock Poker, quickly filled. US poker players, suddenly without their usual platforms, flocked to Merge skins, eager for a place to play. Lock Poker seized this opportunity by offering a promotion that set it apart from other Merge skins. The network had a rule capping player rakeback at 35% to prevent poaching, which is the act of luring players from one skin to another with better rakeback offers. However, Lock boldly defied this rule by advertising a bonus rakeback of up to 20% on top of the standard 35%. Many grinders seeking the best deal chose Lock Poker over other Merge skins, or even switched from competing skins to take advantage of the extra rakeback. But when May 1st, 2011 arrived, the reality of the promotion was vastly different from what had been advertised. The first payout, due in May, was delayed by 6 months. When payments finally came, they had an absurd catch. To withdraw any of the bonus rakeback, players had to complete a playthrough requiring between 40 times to 160 times the bonus amount, and it had to be wagered in the casino, not the poker room. The structure of the playthrough requirement was designed to be almost impossible to complete without going broke. Worse still, the bonus itself was sticky, meaning it could never be withdrawn. If a player miraculously completed the playthrough and turned a $1,000 bonus into $1,500, they could only withdraw the $500, not the original $1,000 bonus. Players who switched to lock for the extra rakeback found themselves cheated, as did the skins they left behind. Lock Poker's response to the backlash was to blame the Merge network, claiming that Merge had intervened early only to stop the promotion. However, instead of ending the promotion and compensating the players, Lock Poker stalled, avoiding accountability and leaving players without their promised compensation. 9 months later, players were still waiting for the money they were promised. Most of those who attempted the impossible playthrough requirements had already busted their accounts, rendering the so-called extra rakeback worthless. In a US court of law, Lock Poker's action would likely be deemed false advertising and fraud, resulting in a legal victory for the affected players. But because Lock Poker operates overseas, it shielded them from such legal repercussions, leaving players without recourse. As the saga unfolded, it became clear that Lock Poker's troubles were far from over. In spring of 2011, Lock Poker found itself embroiled in yet another scandal, this time involving one of its newly signed pros, Tim West. This incident further highlighted the company's ongoing struggles with integrity and transparency. Tim West, a professional player, had sold pieces of himself for the $10,000 Harrah's Rincon tournament to several members of the 2+2 Poker Forum. Midway through the tournament, he built up a massive stack and suddenly regretted selling so much of himself. Instead of just accepting his poor timing, he pulled a shady move. He claimed that he had accidentally oversold and needed to refund 13% of the action, effectively canceling those pieces after he had a strong shot at a big score. Predictably, this caused an uproar with an entire thread on 2+2 exposing the situation. Rather than admitting fault, Tim West doubled down, acting like a self-righteous jerk throughout the discussion. This incident raised questions about Lock Poker's choice of representatives. However, more controversies were yet to come. In June of 2011, a player at Lock Poker uncovered a deeply concerning security issue. His password was plainly visible in the Java source code of the website. This meant that his password was also stored in plain text on Lock Poker's servers, potentially accessible to any Lock employee with server access. Moreover, this flaw meant that passwords were being transmitted unencrypted over the internet. Upon discovering this issue, the user promptly reported it to Lock Poker, who assured them they would be addressed. However, nearly 10 months later, the security flaw persisted unresolved. In May 2012, Lock Poker launched a new network called Revolution Gaming. It turns out this was just another lie. In reality, Lock Poker had bought the Cake Poker network, which was renamed Revolution Gaming. Payouts began to decrease once Lock Poker shifted to Revolution. By mid-2013, player payouts virtually halted altogether. In October of 2013, Lock Poker suddenly transitioned to its own network, introducing entirely new software never seen before in online poker. This move frustrated players, as the site still owed hundreds of thousands of dollars to players but seemed more focused on investing in a new network instead of paying its debts. Player traffic dwindled on the new network, resulting in the lack of new deposits, but extravagant spending by the company's management continued. According to Lock Poker's former director of social media and affiliate marketing, Shane Bridges, the management team were buying $500 bottles of wine with every single meal. The Lock Poker executives took first-class flights and stayed in insane 5-star boutique hotels. While many helped spread the word about the risks of depositing and playing at Lock Poker, the most credit belongs to 2plus2 forum user I Has the Nuts. He tirelessly compiled a list of unpaid players and launched the Lock Poker payout scam thread on August 6, 2013, which had since accumulated over 3,800 posts from concerned players. By exposing the millions in unpaid player funds, estimated by some to be around $15 million, I Has the Nuts played a crucial role in bringing down Lock Poker and preventing future depositors from losing their money. Lock Poker cancelled withdrawal requests that had been lingering for months and contacted affected players with an email reading, "Please note that player transfers and winnings derived from player transfers are not eligible for payouts. If you require further assistance, please do not hesitate to contact us." However, any attempts to reach management or customer service were futile as emails, phone calls, and letters went unanswered.
Ladies and gentlemen, you. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. If there are any questions, you may direct them to that brick wall.
As a result, any money deposited on the platform was considered lost and unrecoverable. This issue had plagued the site for years, yet some players continued to fall for their bonus schemes. In April 2015, Lock Poker closed its doors and turned off the lights without a written warning or explanation. Lock Poker is an example of a site that can be bankrupt but still operate for years. It also shows that a poker room that gives away too many promotions has no chance of surviving.